All right, welcome back. Now, last Thursday, the governor of Taraba State, Darius Ishaku, raised an alarm that suspected insurgents have threatened to attack the state within 10 days. The governor made the disclosure when a delegation of his party, the People's Democratic Party, led by its national chairman, Uche Secondus, paid him a courtesy visit at Government House in Jalingo, the state capital, to commiserate with him over the recent killings in that state. He also alleged that a helicopter had flown into the state in the dead of the night and dropped arms and ammunition at a particular location. No question at all that this is a grave and serious allegation coming from the chief security officer of a state, and so it can't be taken lightly at all. The governor said he had alerted all the security agencies about the threat and that everyone is waiting to see what happens next. Now, the State Commissioner for Police now, David Akinremi, had in a statement dismissed the report of Armsfield's chopper landing in Taraba at night as, quote, unfounded and misleading rumor. Now, joining me to shed more light on this is the Taraba State Commissioner of Information, Anthony Damburam. Mr. Damburam, thank you very much for joining us on the program. Let me start quickly by asking you where exactly the governor said the helicopter landed.
Yes, DEJI, where the statement made by the governor, the location was somewhere around the banks of the Benue, around Ibi area, in Ibi local government area of Taraba State. And Ibi, you know, is not very far from Wukari.
Sure. So does the governor have concrete information that indeed a helicopter landed there at night and brought in weapons?
DEJI, the governor is the chief security officer of the state, and he is also the chief executive. The governor's sources of information, intelligence, and otherwise are much more than any other person. From your introduction, you said the commissioner of police dismissed the allegations made by the governor or the alarm raised by the governor. That is very unfair, because the information that the governor receives and all the intelligence that the governor receives is much more than the intelligence that the commissioner of police receives. Because the governor, as the chief security officer and as the chief executive officer of Taraba State, he receives information from the police, from the DSS, and from other sources. And so therefore, he has more ears than any other person.
Yeah,
so there is nothing...
And if the governor would receive this kind of information from some of the security agencies you've identified, then it would be quite surprising that those security agencies would not know that a helicopter would fly into a place in the dead of the night to drop arms and ammunition and do nothing about it.
Yes, what is happening is... what is happening now in Taraba is that because of that alarm that the governor has raised, there is serious. The police and the military, they are always on the street with sirens warning people that they are prepared to face them. If they have not believed such a story, why are they on 24-hour patrol in Jalingo and all the surrounding towns in Taraba State? They are very alert now because of that alarm. And also, I have to tell you that the announcement made by the army yesterday that they are beginning Operation Cat Race, I think is the alarm raised by the governor is one of the in fact the effect of that alarm is what made the military to now decide to launch such an operation. So these are issues of security now in Nigeria, particularly in Taraba, Benue, Adamawa, Nasarawa, and some others. They cannot be taken lightly. So even if a rumor or somebody alerts someone in authority, like somebody in the office of the governor, it shouldn't be taken lightly, and nobody should dismiss it just like that.
So specifically, what part of the state now is the governor alleging that the attacks are likely to happen in 10 days?
Yes, that threat was directed at Wukari, Ibi, Donga, and Takom areas.
And that, as we all know, I mean, those areas, there had always been, clashes sort of in those areas. Wukari, for
Very,
instance,
very
Tonga,
much. Between
I mean,
yeah,
those areas have a history of clashes, if you like.
a lot of clashes. In fact, in Wukari, there was this spillover of the attacks in Benue, around Kente area, and around Donga area, around Bali area, around Gaso. So this insurgency, or whatever it is called, these gunmen started their operations in Bali, where they completely wiped out and all pushed away the thief people who are living in those areas around Bali and Gasol. And then around Kente area, which borders Benue from in Wukari local government area. Those are the areas that these gunmen and all herdsmen started attacking in Taraba State between 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016. So these are the areas that are vulnerable now. And if the governor has information that these attacks are being planned, putting the past attacks into view, nobody should just dismiss it.
The governor is now seeking special powers to tackle the situation. Can you explain now what special powers the governor wants?
It's not only the when we are talking about these special powers, we are not talking. We are not talking only about Taraba State. We are talking about all the governors should have, before we can now practice true federalism. I think, before we restructure, because restructuring is imminent, going by what people are talking about now, I think the governors and the governor of Taraba State, because of the vulnerable situation we are faced with, the special powers should, specifically, the president should cede some of his powers to the governors who are facing these threats, so that instead of a problem now, a security problem arising, and for a governor to now, if he now asks the commissioner of police or the brigade commander or the military commander in Taraba State for action to be taken where information is gotten of an imminence in attack, instead of such person now taking days to get the go-ahead to now respond to the issues brought by the governor should be given powers to get these officers, these security paraphernalia, to act quickly instead of getting another buffer or getting somebody consent from Abuja or any other place. So these are the powers. Let the president cede these powers to the chief executives and the chief security officers in the states to tackle these security threats directly without any waste of time. Because before you now say, I will get power from this, I will get instruction from this, how many lives have been lost? Like what has happened in my own local governments, these delays in passing through bureaucratic nuances has led to the killing of a lot of people, involving people from my community in about 4 villages in our local government recently, just immediately after New Year.
So basically, what the kind of powers the governor wants is, the governor wants, the powers to be able to deploy the security agencies immediately anything like this comes up.
Exactly. That is what the governor is asking. And in fact, that is what most of the governors should have, or all the governors should have in Nigeria. Because if we are practicing true federalism, since we don't have any state police, we don't have any state-controlled security outfit, governors should be allowed for now, before any other amendment is made to any law concerning devolution of powers and whatever, the president should cede special powers to the governors to handle all these security challenges for now. That's what our governor is asking for, and that is what each of the governors should be given, because the country is being threatened now.
So what exactly is the state of things in Taraba State as we speak?
For now, because of that threat which we have received, things are calm. The military, the police, all the security paraphernalia, they are upbeat. and they are moving around. And with the introduction of the Operation Cat Race, which was announced yesterday, I believe if there was a threat, or those who have deployed those arms, I believe things would be okay. But for now, there has not been any attack since the attack in Lao. And recently, about a week now, there was also an attack. It was nipped in the bud around Gasol area. For now, there's no any event, but nobody is sleeping.
All right, Mr. Anthony Damburam, thank you very much for joining us on the program, and thank you very much for sharing this information with us. Let's just hope, well, we don't have another attack, because the country doesn't need any attack at all at this moment.
Thank you, DEJI. We are waiting for you in Jalingo.
Very soon, pretty soon. Well, we'll take a short break now, and we'll be right back. On DEJI360, we don't just ask the questions. What is wrong with amending the Constitution the way the National Assembly members have been doing it? We seek answers.
Constitution is constituent.
Our problem is not lack of laws. Our problem is lack of the willpower to implement our laws.
Answers that provide clarity.
While we negotiate, we should try to make it a point that the girls must be complete.
The clarity you need to make informed judgment, so that you can make the right decision and take action. People are saying it is you politicians that are responsible for this, that you are the reason why this is happening.
All these dollars that call themselves governors in this country?
I wish we had people like Tony at the National Assembly. God forbid that I go to join that band.
DEJI360, providing clarity to issues.